time that I walk up to the car and I look at it, you know, I think that there's some sort of physiological reaction that I get to the car. When you get in, you touch the steering wheel, and then of course turn it on and then begin to drive. All of that every time, no matter where you're going, I always feel that level of excitement. My name is Adam Mahoney from West Oakland, California, and this is my beautiful 2017 BMW F80 M3. So I always loved the M3, and you know, coming from a 2015 335, I think some would say that may be considered a natural progression. It's just a really good all-around kind of car. I had a really special opportunity to drive a friend's F80 M3. You know, I only got to drive the car for about 10 minutes one night, and it was pretty much an immediate love affair between me and the car. You know, I always love the way it looks, the current generation M3 and M4. I love what BMW did with the cars. BMW's always done a good job, I think, in making, you know, flared arches on the rear for their performance models. And sometimes I see another F80 on the road or this car, I'm always kind of surprised by how awesome the rear end looks. I would say that's probably my favorite visual characteristic of this generation M3. I'd say the quirkiest thing about this car is probably the way it sounds. It has a very unique sound. Usually when you hear an F80 coming, like, you kind of know, oh, if you know the car, you can tell it's an F80. Stock, the F80 is actually pretty loud, but I wanted, of course, even more sound. So as my first major accessory, I got the BMW M Performance exhaust, which, you know, if you like the way the car sounds kind of stock, I would say it's a great way to just get more of what the car, you know, sounds like just out of the factory, but with a deeper and louder note. First thing that I wanted to do, shortly after driving it on the track a few times, I realized that, you know, how tail happy the car was. So I put the BMW M Performance suspension on, which I'd read really kind of tames the rear end a little bit and actually gives you a lot more confidence applying power out of corners on the track. And since putting that suspension on the car, I would highly recommend it to anyone because it completely changed the way the car felt. The car does tend to crash over things sometimes, but I don't mind. The bumpier ride to me is actually kind of cool, but on the track is really where I could tell the difference, which is exactly what I wanted. So it is the current generation of the BMW M3, the first to use forced induction. So this is powered by the S55, which means that you get a lot of power really fast, which makes this car fun on the street and also rewarding on the track too, because the engine never doesn't have power. It truly is a dream machine, and I look forward to the next 35,000 miles with it.